Now the A7S III was released back in 2020. That was 2 years ago. I even made a video at the time talking about buying the camera, but I didn't. But 2 years later, I did. Now let's talk about why I even upgraded to a 2-year-old camera. There's other options like the A7 IV, FX3, FX30, A7R V now. But one of the main reasons was the low light capabilities. The A7S III is a low light king, and I shoot in a lot of low light scenarios such as concerts, music videos, like small venues with really crappy lighting. So I needed something that can handle that and that can do 4K at 60 frames or even 120 with no crop, no limitations, and look great as well. On top of that, I got a pretty good deal at Best Buy. They gave me $1,100 for my A7 III, and I was able to pay a big chunk of the A7S III off with the trade-in, so I couldn't beat that. So let's get into talking about this little beast right here. First of all, you guys already know, as I mentioned, this is a low light keen, you know, with an unofficial dual native ISO at 640 and then cleans up again at 12800. You can get some really clean looking low light shots with this camera. And now with a 10-bit 422 internal recording, you can pretty much get any look that you want because you get the capability of color grading and the dynamic range of using the S-Log 3. So you might ask, why wouldn't you get something like the A7 IV or the A7R V or the FX3? If I am video based, but even the A7 IV, which I've shot a couple music videos with, and the FX3 and the A7R, well actually not the FX3, but the A7 IV and the A7R V have their limitations on video, and for some people it might not be a big deal, and for others it might. For me it was and it wasn't. I wasn't too worried about the small crop when you use 60 frames or 120, but I opted to go with no crop and no limitations on the video side of things because that's mainly what I was gonna do. Not only that, if you have a Ninja 5 or a Ninja 5 Plus, you get the ability to record external RAW at 16-bit. That is pretty insane. I mean, the file sizes are going to be crazy, but the fact that you have the ability to do that is pretty insane, to be able to take in raw files and even manipulate them even more with the 16-bit. The price point on this camera was also a big factor, and a big factor for many. $3,500 is a lot of money, but at the same time, if you compare it to other cinema cameras or other cameras that have these features, it's pretty affordable. You can buy some cinema lenses and pair it up with the A7S III and it looks beautiful. I just bought some SLR Magic lenses, a 18mm and a 35mm lens, and I have been using those and they look amazing. I'm gonna be making a video on those soon, but yeah, it's like having a professional feature film studio camera all in this little thing right here. It's crazy. Now the size of this camera, I mean, look at this thing. It is small compared to like bigger production cinema cameras. I'm not saying this is a production film, feature film camera, but I'm saying the result you can get out of it can look similar. And getting it out of something that's this small that you can mount anywhere, you can place anywhere, you can take it in the car with you, you can take it in a backpack, you can put it anywhere you pretty much need to, and you're able to get beautiful footage out of it. I personally do a lot of music videos, which sometimes you find yourself in some pretty weird, crazy situations, in deserts, in water, in, I don't know, on a motorcycle, whatever. You have to get the shot, and to be able to do it with a body like this is pretty awesome because you're not having to carry like a big ol' Blackmagic camera or something like that. That's going to be a lot heavier and a little more cumbersome to carry on some of those creative shots. Now let's talk about this as a photography camera. A lot of people would say it's not a photo camera. Yes, it's not a photo camera first. It's a video camera first and then a photo camera second. It's only 12 megapixels, but 12 megapixels is more than enough for what a lot of us use the pictures for, which is social media. So if you're on a shoot, if you're out running, gunning something, or you want to get a quick picture of someone or something like that, 12 megapixels is going to be more than enough for them to post on their Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, whatever. Because you don't really need 40 megapixels, 60 megapixels for an Instagram post. Regardless, the social media platforms are going to squash the hell out of it, and you're gonna lose some resolution. So 12 megapixels is more than good enough for social media posting. I've taken it to shows, and while I'm filming video, I get some photos out of it, and it looks great. Although I do plan in the future maybe buying an A7 IV or A7R V just to have a photo camera, because sometimes I do go out on photo only projects, which is nice to have the extra megapixels. But if I need to, and I'm shooting with this and I need to get some photos, because people always ask, hey, while you're here, can I get some photos? Sure, I guess I'll give you a couple photos. I can do it with this. So with all those new options and features and things that are out there already now in Sony cameras, which I feel some of those features should be updated in the Sony A7S III through an update, but that's a whole nother story, and we'll see what they're going to do about that. Is the Sony A7S III still a relevant camera in 2022? And the answer is hell yes, it is. It is still the low light king. It is still a beast of a video camera. It is still a great photo camera, and it is still relevant in 2022. And many filmmakers, content creators, and YouTubers, and a whole spectrum of people that are in the video world are using this camera till this day. And that's for a reason, because it's still one of the best cameras out there for the money and for what you're getting, and pretty much the limitless possibilities you can get with this camera and the options that you get. It is still a very relevant camera and one of the best cameras out there. There's rumors that there might be an A7S IV coming out in the next year or something like that. I don't know, that seems a little too fast for me. I think they can just update the camera with firmware updates and give us new features. I don't know, you never know. Sony's been pumping out cameras like nothing lately, so it might be. But if they do, I think it better be something big. It better be a big change. It better have a lot of those features that we are missing on this camera. All in all though, even with all those new features that are out there, like I said, this camera is still great. This is relevant. This is going to be relevant. This is going to last for a long time, and this is going to go in the history books as one of the best cameras that Sony has ever brought out. And either way, if you're in the market for an A7S III, I'll leave a link down below. You can go check it out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Later.